Hello everyone, it's Grumpy Gamer. Welcome back to another episode of the Tekkit server. Today I'm going to show you my machine. This is just temporary. All this machine does is convert all the output of the Quarry into EMC. I'm eventually going to have a sorting machine over here. I'm going to use a Redpower2 to do it all, but let me show you how this works. I had a small one down here. The problem is it wouldn't process ore because you can't EMC ore, so this new machine will. But first of all, you notice there's a world anchor. Now that just keeps this machine loaded into memory when I move away from the house. We also have one at the quarry. It's a small server, so we can get away with this, but larger servers you have to watch how many world anchors you put because they can start lagging the server. But anyway, we have a teleport pipe here. This receives input from the quarry and it goes into this alchemy chest. Now you can see this stuff's being stored here. Now it actually is emptying this chest out. I've upgraded this. Before it was kind of wasn't really backing up, it was just barely keeping up, but now it's actually emptying this chest out. But I have a deal here called a transposer, and this is emptying the chest. Now this would be equivalent to a wooden pipe with a bunch of engines on it to suck stuff out of the chest, but transposers, Redpower2, doesn't require any fuel or anything. It's just like a redstone engine in that regard, and you just got to go to redstone pulse. Now a few cool things about this: one, each pulse pulls exactly one block out, so you have better control over pulling stuff out of the chest. So if you wanted to make something like computer controlled and the computers wanted one item, you could do it easily this way. And I have a switch right here where you can turn it off and on. But anyway, this outputting over here into this chest right here, this is actually a energy condenser, and this is converting all the blocks that go into it into EMC. Now or if you look right here, it has no EMC value, whereas most stuff in the game does or does not. So if I come over here, like gravel has the EMC of 4 and cobblestone has an EMC of 1. So the problem is these ores will stack up and you have to manually carry them upstairs and macerate them, and then you can either cook them and turn them into ingots or you can EMC them. But for right now, with what we're doing till we get something better, is we're just going to EMC all the ore. So all this machine, the rest of it that you see, it converts all the ore into EMC and feeds it back into the chest. So let me show you how this works. This is a filter right here. This makes sure that I'm only pulling out ores out of the chest, because I really didn't know if I have just all kinds of random stuff going in here. I just wanted to make sure the transposer doesn't pull out the wrong item. I'm sorry, the filter. Basically, a filter is just like a transposer. You give it a pulse and one atom will go through. The only difference is that here it'll only pull out the items you have here. So I have all the ores right here, so this filter will only pull out the ores. And it goes up this pneumatic tube and down into the macerator. And I have 12 overclockers in here, storage unit and transformer upgrade and all that kind of happy stuff. So right now the machine's off. I'll turn it on in a minute, but here's the power wire coming down. It's coming down from the power plant. And once we macerate everything, we got another transposer here, and all it does is pull everything out of the macerator. It sends it back into here, and it gets converted into EMC. Now if you notice these blue panels right here, these blue panels, these are it can be any kind of cover. That's just a cover. You put it in there and it'll keep these pipes from connecting. So that's real handy. Now here's another cool thing about Redpower2. These tubes, they will not throw blocks onto the ground like BuildCraft2. Now there is a pipe in BuildCraft2. It's called an advanced insertion pipe. I don't have a tutorial on or anything, but it will keep your machines from spewing blocks on the ground. But this is just much easier. It's much simpler. It's less laggy, less buggy, less glitchy, all that kind of stuff. So, for example, too, you can see the goods moving through here. If you look at BuildCraft pipes, you'll see a bunch of random stuff, like for example blocks going backwards and blocks going into places they shouldn't be going. That's not really happening. It usually works properly. It just looks jacked up. Well, Redpower, it doesn't do all that. And you notice too, you only have two basic types of tubes in Redpower. You have your standard pneumatic tubes, then you have Redpower tubes, which is actually the same thing, except it also acts as a redstone wire. and this is actually redstone too, but I don't have any redstone hooked directly up to it, but I just went ahead and used it anyway. So anyway, let's flip this on and I'll show it to you in operation. So now you can see, well, it's still a little glitchy, I guess, because you don't see anything coming out of here. Oh, yes, it's not seeing anything out. Let me show you this. It has to get rid of all this copper before it'll send anything else out, because apparently there may not be any copper in this chest. I'm not sure, but this thing's smart enough to know not to pull anything out of the chest until this empties out. And there we go, we can see it pulling some more out now. I don't know what it's feeding, but it's feeding iron. So what happens is, you notice everything went backwards. It put iron in here and the iron can't get cooked, and so it sent all the iron back. It won't throw your blocks on the ground. If it gets to a destination it's invalid, everything just goes back to where it came from. But as soon as all of this copper dust is gone, let me go ahead and pull it out just to show you. Now it'll go ahead and start sending blocks again. So this is real handy. It's easier to build. It takes up a lot less real estate. I actually could have got it a little more compact, like this right here, the timer and all that. But I wanted to make it a little bigger so that you could see how it worked. But anyway, this right here will take all your Quarry output and turn it all into EMC. So the only thing you'll have in this chest, well, I'm making diamonds, but everything will get made into diamonds. And you can see I have a ton of ore in there, to get processed. But in the near future, I'll have another video up, and I'll make an actual sorting machine, show you a little more Redpower2. If you're new to the game, I'd honestly probably recommend learning the Redpower2 over Buildcraft. Most people start with Buildcraft because it seems better and easier, but it's not. This right here is actually a lot better. But anyway, this is Grumpy Gamer. We'll see you next time.